I would say probably my first time on a skateboard would be when I got one for Christmas. Just kind of messed around with it. I would definitely say there's an influence based on where I lived because I lived in Laguna Beach. Every single kid in my town where I grew up, if you didn't have a skateboard, then you weren't a social person. And I saw all my friends on them. I saw everyone doing it. Everyone was good. And since I had just moved from Colorado, where everyone was a skier, it's kind of almost new to see skateboarding. And I was like, yeah, let's give this a try. And I fell in love with it kind of right off the bat. It can be anything you want it to be. There's longboarders, there's skateboarders, there's people who do, transportation for their skateboards. You can really do it as a solitary activity where you're just going from point A to point B by yourself, and you'll have fun doing it. You only need one person to ride a skateboard. But right when you put 2, 3, 4 friends with you, that's when the fun happens. That's when you guys are cruising down the street, getting hyped about tricks, kind of going around. Your friend lands something that he hasn't landed for a while. You're all stoked on that, and you see it, and that makes it a group activity. But the real progress really comes from you putting hours in by yourself, kind of sitting down, trying the same line 100 times, going for it. And that's where maybe the self-improvement would be, and making it more of an individual sport, because you can only make yourself better. You can see what other people do and kind of replicate those processes, but it really takes you to learn how to do every motion to make it work and to skateboard. But at the end of the day, though, everyone gets into skateboarding because they want to be with their friends. Everyone has that same culture. They want to go land some tricks with their buddies and go around and have some fun with it. So it is very much both a individual sport as well as a group sport. It just kind of depends on the scenario and what you're doing. I mean, I skateboard to school every day by myself, and I have a great time doing it. But after class, I'll meet up with 2 or 3 of my buddies, and we'll go skateboard somewhere. So in the morning, to me, it'd be like a solo activity, and then in the afternoon, it's more of a group activity. So if you go to skate parks, there's everybody there. Everyone's hyping each other up on tricks and going around and having fun. And that's where kind of the group aspect of it is. But at the end of the day, it's you on your skateboard by yourself. What you get in what you put into it. So get out what you put into it. Yeah. Whenever I'm skateboarding, I'm kind of pretending like I'm on a surfboard, trying to get to where I want to go, always taking big, wide turns, carving over anything I can. I kind of try to find anything that can almost resemble some sort of a concrete wave, in a sense. Anything you can carve over, anything you can go around, make a little slide on. That's kind of my favorite form of skateboarding, just kind of going in a straight line and figuring out where you can find just little spots that don't look like they're spots. Anything that you can find and go, oh, like I can maybe skate that, and you just try it. And those usually turn out to be the best spots. That's where the fun of skateboarding is, and that's what I look for when I skateboard. You can definitely see how it has, made its way over here, and there is quite a number of skateboarders. There's a whole Paris skate culture scene. There's a few skate parks around Paris, but they're kind of far, and a lot of people don't really look at skateboarders in the greatest way here. It's mostly dogs and grandmas. They will yell at you, and they will bark at you, and they will chase you down the street screaming at you in, French, which is hard to understand for skateboarders. It pretty much comes down to just, there's a lot of skateboarders in California, and there will never be anywhere else that has more skateboarders other than maybe Australia. But it definitely has a solid, you can definitely see that there is a presence in Paris, and there are skateboarders, and there are really good skateboarders too. Do you know how old Tony Hawk is? I don't know how old Tony Hawk is, but I saw an Instagram video of him yesterday, and I gotta say he's at least, after his 40s, and I saw him get like 20 feet of air out of a skateboard bowl, and he's still cruising, like it's mellow, like all good, no problems. And I'm not even close to as good as he, I'll never be as good as he is, but if I can still ride a skateboard, I probably will. I may, most of my friends kind of might know me as that kid who would, you look at, if I look like I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna try it. If I feel like I can do it, I'm gonna do it. and I really kind of push myself a lot, you know, in kind of a lot of aspects. But you know, I might, you know, mellow down, have a longboard cruise on the boardwalk or something. But, you know, I always want to be able to ride a skateboard. As long as I'm able to, I probably will. You know, definitely as life pushes on and responsibilities, you know, take action, you know, happen, then, you know, you can dedicate less time to it. But, you know, I would take a skateboard over a bike any day. And if I can still ride a skateboard, I probably will if I'm in good health to do it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And, you know, like I said, you know, I might not be on a trick skateboard doing bowls or kind of going around, but I'll be on a longboard cruising somewhere, getting to where I need to go and having fun with that. I don't know, maybe like, you know, I'd like to have a nice dog that pulls me on my longboard as an old guy. I think that'd be pretty cool.